Hello everybody, I'm John. This is the Midnight Paint and Body channel. In this video I'm going to take you guys along on a small collision repair, and I'm going to show you what is and what is involved in spraying a tri-coat paint. So welcome back to the channel, guys, or if you're new here, this is Midnight Paint and Body. This is my small body shop. I typically just take you guys along on whatever the heck I happen to be working on this week. This week it's a little collision job, sometimes it's rust repair, sometimes it's restoration stuff, sometimes it's muscle cars, it's yeah, a little bit of everything. Pretty much anything auto body related. So this week we have a 2014, I think, Ford Escape, a little fender bender. So just a quick overview. If I can open the hood. So whenever you're diagnosing or estimating collision damage, you need to take everything into consideration. What a lot of people don't know about me is I was a collision repair estimator for quite a few years of my career. So in this case, you know, we've got the obvious. We clearly need a bumper cover. We need this fog light filler piece, and we need a headlight. All the mounts are broken. Now, this stuff will almost always go deeper. Now, in this case, you can see we've got a small crack in our radiator support. These are a composite rad support in these, but I've already looked at this. This is all solid, it's in place. Now, say this were an insurance job, I mean, yeah, that rad support would most likely be getting replaced. Now, replacing that rad support entails, you know, emptying out the AC system and pretty much taking the entire front end of the car apart. So you've got to take out your rads, your AC, your condenser, evacuate the system, and then recharge the system. We're not doing that. You know, in this case, the customer's paying for the repair, so that's always something to consider. I mean, you're paying for the repair yourself. Something that isn't a real concern like that, you know, why would you spend an extra couple of $1,000 or at least $1,000 to replace that thing? So I probably will do a small repair on that, and we'll throw a little paint on it, because yeah, I mean, it's solid. I can't even move it. I can't even make that crack change, so it's not structural, it's not a concern. So what we have real quick, new front bumper cover. Aftermarket piece I've already unwrapped. We have the fog light filler. Oh, look at that. I got a razor blade right there. And we have the headlight, which I haven't checked yet. You should always check this stuff ahead of time to make sure you have the correct parts so you have time to change it if it isn't. This is an aftermarket headlamp. Looks like the right one. And here's the thing too. Look at that. It's already got an aftermarket headlamp, so it's had a little repair there once before. So we are replacing with what it had. So that's no big deal. And the other thing, oh, my camera's going to die. I might have to change the battery. I'm going to show you guys tri-coat paint. Now, you've all heard that term, tri-coat. So what the tri-coat is tri-coat pearl. So if you can pick up in the camera, this is that, I don't know what Ford calls it, just like the white diamond or whatever it is. I think the code on this one was UG if I remember correctly. So with the typical paint system, you've either got a single stage paint where you've just got a direct gloss. You put on your white paint, it's painted. You've got a base coat, clear coat system. You've got your base coat, which is your color, and then your clear coat, which is the shine, the protective coating. The tri-coat system, you've got your base color, which in this case will be this sort of creamy off-white. And then the second coat is a really transparent pearl, which is put over the base color. And then the third coat is your clear coat. So it's a tri-coat. It's just an extra step. They are, you know, they're a bit tricky if you haven't done them. There's some stuff about, you know, if you're having to blend panels and such, there's a little bit of stuff to learn with these, but really they're not bad. So I'm going to take you along on spraying the old tri-coat. So that's pretty much what we're working on. Our first step of the day is going to be to prep up this bumper cover and get it painted. And then while it's curing, we can be ripping this apart. So let's get in the booth and get prepping. So prepping our new bumper cover is straightforward. But one thing you absolutely have to determine before you sand, are you sanding a primed bumper cover or raw plastic? Most often, these aftermarket ones are primed. Quite often, with a lot of the imports, mainly like Toyota and such, they're very often raw plastic. If you have a raw plastic bumper cover, it is a completely different procedure. Don't touch it with one of these. Not going to get into that because that's not what we're working on. This is primed. We're using a red Scotch-Brite pad. And I'm basically just going to sand this thing until it's dull. It's sanded. The Scotch-Brite is nice because we can get into all of these tight little areas. I am personally a stickler for that. Some guys, you know, banging this stuff out in the collision shop might not be as fussy as me. I mean, if the paint peels off under here, you're not going to see it because the grill's there, but that's still just tacky work as far as I'm concerned. So I really like to get in absolutely everything. At the end of the day, it's my name that's on the job, so I will always do things to the best of my ability. I am by no means the best at anything or an expert at anything, guys. I'm just a dude that does body work, and I'm just sharing what I do with you. So, boring, I'm just going to sand this thing. I mean, realistically, it should take 15 minutes. And it'll be all sanded, and then we will get on to our next step. So our bumper cover is all prepped. Our first step is a polyurethane sealer. Anytime you're dealing with new panels with this style primer, the electrical primer, or this shipping primer, whatever you want to call it, this E-coat, it has to be sealed. If you put your paint right over this, it's going to flake and chip, and you know, maybe not right away, but next year it's going to be falling off. So now here's the part where we find our paint code, which is UG. I go to my paint system. Oh, come on. It tells me I need 919193. So I go to my color decks. Should be in this one. So you can see there's a bunch of variants on pearl whites basically. But I don't have the chips for. I don't have the chips for that color. So that's one of those things about being a small shop, you kind of get left behind. So that's a little frustrating. So we do have a prime, which is the standard, a redder or a darker face, lighter flop. Honestly guys, check my camera. All I can do is take a chance and mix up the prime color. Most often is the one that I would use anyway, but yeah, it's a real pain in the ass if the color's not good, so I'll have to keep a close eye on it while I'm spraying. So I'm just going to go ahead and start mixing up our base color, our first color for the tri-coat. And here is what our first coat looks like. So it's just straight white, kind of an off-white, creamy white. So this is, basically the color of the car, but without the pearl. So we're going to spray this on 2 or 3 coats. You want complete coverage with your first coat, because your pearl coat, it doesn't provide any kind of coverage. It's just a super transparent pearl. So I'll show you that after we lay this on. So there's one coat. I'm going to let that sit 10 minutes, hit it again, probably 2 more coats, and then we'll get on to our pearl. And if you're curious about the gun light, to check out my last video, there's actually a link where you can get one of those for $1 by loading the Temu app. So it's actually kind of a cool thing. So I just thought I'd let you guys know about that again. I've got 3 coats of our base color on our bumper cover. So next is our tri-coat, or pearl coat. So as you can see, this is just a really transparent pearl. So this has no coverage whatsoever, aside from adding the pearl to our paint color. So I've got 3 coats of that, the base on, just to make sure it's got total coverage. And now I'm just going to give it 2 coats of this pearl coat. Now just 2 coats of clear. So while our bumper cover cures with some heat on it, we've been doing some tear down on our front bumper. Sorry Ford guys, but Fords are just always a little more difficult to work on, I find. Might just be because I don't work on as many of them. I'm not one of those guys that picks on brands. Whatever you like, you like. Actually, I probably do, but just to bug people. Well, so apparently on these, the whole lower valence part just stays with the car. Doesn't really make sense to me, but I couldn't, yeah, I thought I unbolted everything and she's still on there solid, so. I know there's someone yelling at the screen right now that's worked on these, going, you're an idiot, those were easy. But, what do you do? It's not like I work on this kind of stuff all the time. So I'm just gonna start changing stuff over. Oh, those are steel rivets. Yeah, I'm just gonna start changing stuff over to the fresh bumper cover. It's still pretty fresh to be putting parts on, but some of this kind of stuff I can. That will probably be morning before we actually put it together, maybe? Yeah, probably. Probably. Anyway, keep you guys posted. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing in place. Probably kind of pushing my luck. I only just painted this bumper cover this morning, but... we'll give her a go anyway. Alright, sort of in place. So I'm gonna go around and throw some bolts in it. And we'll start adding some trim. Here's where our factory tow hook is on these. Usually in your spare tire kit there's that little eyelet and there's a spot to thread it in, and that's where it is on a Ford Escape apparently. So that's why this one's got this little knockout here. So you can put your tow hook in. Well, there it is, guys. Couple of new parts and good as new. So just kind of a quick and dirty little collision repair, quick video. You know, the changing over of parts isn't really what I was going for here. I was going more to kind of show you guys, you know, what's involved in a tri-coat finish. So now you know when you hear people talk about a tri-coat, that's what it is. So hopefully that's helpful to somebody. So, as always guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor and, you know, maybe pick another video from my channel and watch it, because YouTube likes that. And, you know, just hit the like and subscribe and the share stuff. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Channel keeps growing. It's awesome. Thanks again for watching. I hope you come back and check out the next one.